Okay. And hypothalamus controls the anterior pituitary. क्या होता है anterior pituitary posterior pituitary? हाँ उसके पहले एक और बार रिवाइज करते हैं. Pituitary gland divided into two parts. सुनो आप लोग. Adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis. No repetition. Adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis. Adenohypophysis has pars distalis and pars intermedia. But in the case of humans, the pars intermedia is merged with the pars distalis. As a result of which the pars distalis is commonly called as the anterior pituitary. Neurohypophysis is commonly called as the posterior pituitary. It is made up of the pars nervosa. The hypothalamus controls the anterior pituitary. Anterior pituitary, commonly the pars distalis. It controls the anterior pituitary through hormones. These hormones do not directly reach down. They come via the hypothalamo-hypophyseal portal vein. Yeah, in short, portal system. These hormones can either be releasing hormones or inhibitory hormones. मतलब hypothalamus ये बैच 2 को बताया था मैंने कि hypothalamus जो है secrete करता है releasing hormones जो act करेंगे तो hormones को release करेगा anterior pituitary. कोई hormones को stop करने के लिए दूसरा inhibitory hormone भी release करना पड़ता है. लेकिन जो posterior pituitary था it was under the direct neural regulation. Hypothalamic neurons produce ADH and oxytocin.
Yes.
It comes down in the posterior pituitary. From there, it is released from the posterior pituitary. So ADH and oxytocin का जो secretion है, it's not a real secretion. The right word to use is it is only release. The real secretion is done by the hypothalamus. A quick recap. Okay. Now let us see how the hypothalamus is controlling each and every hormone there. So here guys. This I am trying to make the hypothalamus with the pituitary gland. This is the pituitary stalk. This black wala piche wala part is the pars nervosa, the posterior pituitary ka part. This is the pars tuberalis, not mentioned in the NCERT text. And this is the pars distalis. Diffuse wala part is the pars intermediate. Right, students? So now we are saying that this region let me call it what? Hypothalamus. And the hypothalamus secretes growth hormone releasing hormone. Okay? Growth hormone releasing hormone. This growth hormone releasing hormone will act on the anterior pituitary, the pars distalis, and then these cells will secrete growth hormone. Batch 2 कोई वाला part नहीं हुआ है. So growth hormone releasing hormone ये किसका hormone है? Hypothalamus का. और ग्रोथ हार्मोन किसका हार्मोन है? पिट्यूटरी ग्लैंड का एंटीरियर पिट्यूटरी. अगर इसका प्रोडक्शन हमको स्टॉप करना है then the hypothalamus will secrete growth hormone, inhibitory hormone which will act on the cells and they will stop the production of GH. Clear everyone? Then for the next hormone, the hypothalamus secretes thyroid stimulating hormone releasing hormone TSHRH. No repetition, just listen. Thyroid stimulating hormone releasing hormone TSHRH. which acts on the cells of the pars distalis and they begin the secretion of TSH, thyroid को stimulate करने वाला hormone. Now the thyroid stimulating hormone will act on the thyroid gland and the thyroid gland will produce a hormone called as thyroxine. तो ये बार बार समझने लायक बात है कि थायरॉक्सिन एक हार्मोन है किसका, लेकिन थायराइड ग्लैंड का, जो एक अलग एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड है। लेकिन थायराइड ग्लैंड थायरॉक्सिन कब बनाएगा, जब उसको कोई उत्तेजित करेगा, स्टिमुलेट करेगा, और वो स्टिमुलेट करने वाले का नाम है थायराइड स्टिमुलेटिंग हार्मोन, दैट इज TSH। TSH किसका हार्मोन है, पिट्यूटरी ग्लैंड का, एंटीरियर पिट्यूटरी ग्लैंड का। वो कब प्रोड्यूस होगा, इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ हाइपोथैलेमस, जो रिलीज करेगा TSH-RH। तो एमसीक्यूज के लिए आपको ध्यान रखना है कि यहाँ पे मैंने 3 एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड्स मेंशन किए। एक हाइपोथैलेमस रियल मास्टर हो गया, पिट्यूटरी ग्लैंड मास्टर सेकेंड एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड हो गया, और तीसरा दूसरा एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड जिसका नाम है थायराइड ग्लैंड। तो यहाँ पे कितने एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड्स मेंशन हुए, 3, और कितने हार्मोन मेंशन हुए ये सीक्वेंस में, 3 मेंशन हुए, TSH-RH, TSH, थायरॉक्सिन। चलो बताओ थायरॉक्सिन किसका हार्मोन है, TSH किसका है, और TSH-RH किसका है, clear everyone? Then the next group of hormones from the hypothalamus would be corticotropin releasing hormones. Name of the hormone is corticotropin releasing hormones. These corticotropin releasing hormones, they will act on the pituitary gland, and the pituitary gland will secrete adrenocorticotropic hormone. What is the name of the hormone? ACTH. The short form of the hormone is ACTH. Adrenocorticotropic hormone, that is ACTH. Clear everybody? Now this ACTH will act on the adrenal gland. ACTH will act on the adrenal gland. ये किडनीज है, किडनीज के ऊपर जो ग्लैंड है उसका नाम है एड्रीनल ग्लैंड। इस एड्रीनल ग्लैंड के पास 2 पार्ट्स हैं। ये अंदर वाले पार्ट को बोलते हैं मेड्यूला, और बाहर वाले पार्ट को बोलते हैं एड्रीनल कॉर्टेक्स। सो ACTH is adrenocorticotropic hormone. It is acting on the adrenal gland का cortex. Now the cortex secretes 3 hormones which are known as mineralocorticoids. Then you have glucocorticoids and the sex corticoids. Okay, mineralocorticoids, glucocorticoids, sex corticoids. Okay, all 3 are called as the hormones of the cortex. Okay, so mineralo, gluco, sex, ये 3 हार्मोन का ग्रुप हो गया। ये किसके हार्मोन्स है, एड्रिनल ग्लैंड के। ये कब रिलीज होंगे, जब एंटीरियर पिट्यूटरी रिलीज करेगा ACTH। that is adrenocorticotropic hormone. And वो कब रिलीज होगा? जब हाइपोथैलेमस सिक्रीट करेगा corticotropic releasing hormone. So once again we have spoken about three glands. One is hypothalamus, the second one is anterior pituitary, and the third one is adrenal gland. Which part of the adrenal gland? Medulla or the cortex? Cortex part. Okay, so till now hypothalamic hormones are GHRH, GHIH, TSHRH and CRH, in which the other name for GHIH is somatostatin. Growth hormone, inhibitory hormone, is also known as by another name. What is the other name for it? Somatostatin. क्या कहते हैं उसको? Somatostatin. Did you understand this clearly, everyone? Give yes or no? Yes. Okay. Now, which part? Again, hypothalamus. It secretes prolactin releasing hormone. Okay, what's the name of the hormone? Prolactin releasing hormone. Prolactin releasing hormone, which will act on the cells and they will start the secretion of a hormone called prolactin. And the prolactin will act on the human female mammary glands. Okay, it will act on the female mammary glands. Which hormone? Prolactin. Okay, so here we have mentioned two hormones. One is prolactin and the other is prolactin releasing hormone. Okay, and two endocrine glands and one exocrine gland. The two endocrine glands are hypothalamus and anterior pituitary, and the exocrine gland mentioned is mammary glands. Just don't keep on nodding your heads. Try to learn it. Your answer marks तो नहीं आ रहे टेस्ट में. Clear everyone up to here? तो यहाँ पे मैंने कितने एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड्स मेंशन किए? दो. एक है हाइपोथैलेमस, दूसरा एंटीरियर पिट्यूटरी. ये दो एंडोक्राइन हो गए. तीसरा जो ग्लैंड मेंशन हुआ है वो कौन है? ये एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड नहीं आएगा. That will be which gland? Exocrine gland. Is it clear? Okay. Let's continue. The hypothalamus is secreting another important set of hormones, which are called as gonadotropin releasing hormones. Gonadotropin releasing hormones, GnRH, which will be gonadotropin releasing hormones. Okay, once again they will act on whom? Anterior pituitary gland. And this anterior pituitary will secrete hormones which are called as gonadotropins. What are the name of the hormones? Gonadotropins. Okay. Gonadotropins are those which act on gonads. Gonads are called testes and ovaries in males and females respectively. Male gonad is called testes and the female gonad is called ovaries. Clear everyone? Okay. Now these gonadotropins के एग्जाम्पल्स दो हैं. वन इज follicle stimulating hormone and the other one is called as luteinizing hormone, that is LH. FSH, that is follicle stimulating hormone, and LH, that is luteinizing hormone. These FSH and LH together acts on the gonads. Who are the gonads? Testes and ovaries. Together, दोनों की साथ में बात कर रहे हैं. Then these gonads will secrete testosterone, estrogens, and progesterone. Okay? Testosterone belongs to a family of hormones called androgens. It belongs to a family of hormones called androgens. Andry, matlab for male characters. Okay? So androgen is a family of hormones. It has got many different hormones. The most dominant member is testosterone. Some of the other members are DHEA, etc. Okay? Whereas estrogen and all, they come under a group of hormones called estradiols. Okay? Estrogen and progesterone are responsible for secondary sexual characters in females. I hope the class understood up to here. Yes or no? Okay. Now let us see the summary of what I have written over there. How will we summarize this? Let us make a list of hypothalamic hormones. पहले किसकी लिस्ट बना रहे हैं हम लोग? क्या मतलब होता है hypothalamic hormones का? वो hormones which are released by the hypothalamus. So one by one, we have got GHRH and GHRH. ये पहला ग्रुप हो गया. G growth hormone releasing hormone, and the second is
growth hormone,
inhibitory hormone. And what is the name of growth hormone, inhibitory hormone?
somatostatin.
It is called somatostatin. Okay? Clear everyone? What is the next group of hormone? Thyroid stimulating
hormone, releasing hormone,
thyroid stimulating hormone releasing hormone. Fourth one is corticotropin releasing hormone. Fifth one is prolactin releasing hormone. Sixth one is at what? Gonadotropin releasing hormone. Yes? Have we missed anything?
No.
Which ones were? That is the hormone of the pituitary gland. Okay? So this is a list of 6 hormones that are released by the hypothalamus. Clear? I hope you understood everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Learn these names. Mind में learn. ये सारा लिस्ट किसका है? हाइपोथैलेमिक hormones. ये क्यों रिलीज होता है? कंट्रोल करने के लिए. किसको कंट्रोल करने के लिए? एंटीरियर पिट्यूटरी. क्लियर है ना? पूरा चाहिए से नाम. ओके. Who will carry these hormones to the anterior pituitary? Hypothalamo hypophyseal portal vein. Okay. The second group is the pituitary hormones, and let us call them as anterior pituitary hormones. Okay. And जो हाइपोथैलेमिक हार्मोन्स है उसके सामने उनका नाम लिख देंगे जो उसको कंट्रोल कर रहे हैं. तो पहले वाले का किसमें आएगा? सूजन के बाजू में कौन बैठा है वो? हाँ, स्टैंड अप. ये दोनों जो हार्मोन्स है ये मिलके कौन से हार्मोन का सिक्रीशन करवाते हैं? ये वाला,
थायराइड स्टेबिलिटी हार्मोन,
ये वाला,
एड्रिनो
देख के भी नहीं आ रहा पढ़ने तेरे को,
एड्रिनोकॉर्टिकोट्रॉपिक
ट्रॉफिक हार्मोन। वो किस पे एक्ट करेगा एड्रेनोकॉर्टिकोट्रॉपिक हार्मोन?
एड्रिनल कॉर्टेक्स पे
एंड वो क्या रिलीज करेगा फिर? क्या नाम है उसका? मिनरलोकॉर्टिकॉइड्स, ग्लूकोकॉर्टिकॉइड्स एंड सेक्स कॉर्टिकॉइड्स। तो टोटल कितने हार्मोन्स हो गए ये सीक्वेंस में? 5 हो गए, 3 ACTH, 4 ऊपर वाला 5, हाइपोथैलेमस का 1, उसके बाद ACTH, उसके बाद 3 हार्मोन्स इसके एड्रिनल कॉर्टेक्स है। बैठो बैठो। तो यहाँ पे इसके सामने कौन आएगा बच्चों? ये दोनों के सामने GH, दैट इज ग्रोथ हार्मोन। इसके सामने कौन आएगा बच्चों? TSH। इसके सामने ACTH। इसके सामने कौन आएगा बच्चों? प्रोलैक्टिन। एंड इसके सामने कौन आएगा बच्चों? दो आएंगे, FSH एंड LH। Is it clear up to here? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. What will write it over here? Other glands. यहाँ पे नहीं आएगा कोई other gland. TSH. TSH के सामने कौन सा gland आएगा? TG आएगा, thyroid gland. और उसका हार्मोन कौन सा आएगा? थायरॉक्सिन। ACTH के सामने कौन आएगा? एड्रिनल ग्लैंड। और उसके सामने कितने हार्मोन हैं? 3, मिनरलोकॉर्टिकॉइड्स, ग्लूकोकॉर्टिकॉइड्स, सेक्स कॉर्टिकॉइड्स। प्रोलैक्टिन के सामने मैमरी ग्लैंड आएगा, लेकिन वो कैसा है? एक्सोक्राइन है। सिक्रीशन क्या आएगा? मिल्क, हार्मोन नहीं है वो। FSH LH के सामने कौन सा अदर ग्लैंड आएगा चलो? एक आएगा टेस्टिस और आएगा ओवरी। टेस्टिस के हार्मोन का नाम क्या है? टेस्टोस्टेरोन। ओवरीज के सामने हार्मोन कौन है? एस्ट्रोजन एंड प्रोजेस्टेरोन। तो एस्ट्रोजन, अगर एक फीमेल की हम लोग ओवरी निकाल देंगे तो उसके बॉडी में FSH एंड LH होगा कि नहीं होगा? FSH एंड LH होगा, लेकिन एस्ट्रोजन एंड प्रोजेस्टेरोन नहीं होगा। I hope you got my point. Okay. So will she have FSH and LH?
Yes.
But she will not show the presence of progesterone and estrogen. Are we clear with this? All of you?
Yes.
है ना? Okay. Batch 2, quickly copy this down. Let's go. Yes. इसमें और 2 हार्मोन्स ऐड होंगे और वो किसके हार्मोन्स हैं? पोस्टीरियर पिट्यूटरी। क्या पोस्टीरियर पिट्यूटरी इन हार्मोन्स को सिक्रीट करता है कि सिर्फ रिलीज करता है? और वो कौन है वो 2 हार्मोन? ADH and the other is what? Oxytocin. I have got it, everyone. Okay. Batch 2, quickly write it down. Growth hormone, that is GH, also known as the somatotropic hormone. Also known as which hormone? Somatotropic hormone. So that word is not there in the text. Inside. Okay. Now, what is the function of growth hormone? When you say growth hormone brings about the growth in the body, right? Now, when you say growth in the body, it is both linear growth as well as muscular growth. दोनों type of growth. One is it stimulates the process of Cell division. Because you know, for growth, what is required? Cell division is required. Okay. Now here, let us look at the structure of the long bone. The end of the long bone is called what? Epiphysis or the spongy bone. And the middle shaft is called as the diaphysis. Is it spongy bone or compact bone? And it shows the presence of a cartilage. Okay? And what is this cartilage called? Epiphyseal cartilage or the epiphyseal plate. Okay? Now, the growth hormone GH acts on the epiphyseal cartilage and will cause the cell division of the cartilage, as a result of which the length of the bone will increase. Okay? The epiphyseal cartilage will undergo cell division and after that it will undergo ossification, that is bone formation. तो धीरे 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 ग्रोथ हार्मोन की वजह से एपिफिशियल कार्टिलेज क्या हो जाता है, यूज्ड अप हो जाता है. बट बाय दैट टाइम already the length of the bone has increased and that will increase your height. So we'll say that it is responsible for which growth, guys? As on before? Yes or no? Yes. So that is how growth hormone increases your height. How does growth hormone increase your height? It acts on epiphyseal cartilage, causes its cell division, and subsequently it gets ossified, resulting in the formation of the bone, and the length of the bone will increase. Did you get it, everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Other thing is, it will cause muscular growth, which it increases the good weight of the body. Which weight? Good weight. When you have excess of fats, it is called obesity. That is the bad weight. Okay? But when you have a good amount of muscles, it is called as a good weight. Like if you have a boxer or a mixed martial arts fighter, when they say they are 80 kgs, a boxer who is 80 kgs is 80 kgs of pure meat, mutton है उसमें, fats नहीं इधर उधर. देखा ना boxer लोग का body. What my point? So growth hormone helps to build up those muscles in the body. Okay? It is. How does it help in the muscular growth? It is a protein sparer. Means it does not allow the cells to use up proteins as a source of energy. That is what you mean by protein sparer. It will not allow the cells to use the proteins as what energy source. Okay? Instead, it will make the cell available with glucose. सेल को बोलेगा आप प्रोटीन्स को यूज नहीं करना है. क्या यूज करना है आपको? ग्लूकोज को यूज करना. कैसे? It will do lipolysis. Okay? That is, it will convert the lipids into what fatty acids. That is called the process of what? Lipolysis. And it will convert the fatty acids into a new molecule of glucose. And glucose can be used by the cell as a source of energy. Now this new glucose, has it come from a carbohydrate or from a non-carbohydrate?
Non-carbohydrate.
Fatty acid is a non-carbohydrate. So this process is called gluconeogenesis. What do you call the process? Okay, let's break up the word here. Genesis is formation. Neo means new. Gluco means glucose. It is formation of new glucose from non-carbohydrates like fatty acids. Okay? So it is responsible for increasing your linear as well as your good weight. So that is why it is called as growth hormone. Also one of those hormones which is abused by the bodybuilders. Along with testosterone, that is a steroidal hormone. Some of them also use what? GH injections to increase their muscles. What is my point? Naturally, if you right now your GH levels are high, bachcho, because you're in a growing age. What is my point? Some of your body characters are determined by your diet, your genetics, okay, your physical activities, multiple things. Your height is one of them. What my point? So if you are genetically gifted, okay, then your height growth is very easy and faster. But if you are not genetically gifted with it, but if you exercise, if you take a proper diet, then the height will increase up to a particular limit, but there will be some genetical constraints still. I hope you got my point. So it is not only one, it's a polygenic effect. मतलब एक ही चीज नहीं है, multiple genes आती है, दूसरे भी काफी सारे factors. आया बात समझ में? कि काफी बार हम लोग बोलते हैं हाइट जो है वो एक तो सबसे पहले एक ही जीन का इफेक्ट नहीं है, वो मल्टीपल जीन्स का इफेक्ट है. और वो हम लोग किससे इनहेरिट करते हैं? अपने पेरेंट्स से. लेकिन वो जीन्स को अपना इफेक्ट दिखाने के लिए भी आपका उतना पोषण होना चाहिए. समझना मेरा बात? आपका उतना चलना मतलब आई मीन आपका फिजिकल एक्टिविटी भी तो होना चाहिए. इसलिए बोलते ना, इफ यू डू साइक्लिंग, इफ यू डू पुल अप्स, इफ यू डू swimming and all, it can help in increasing your height. It will stimulate the dash epiphyseal genes for growth. I hope you got my point. Okay. Now, chalo, if look at these conditions, what I have written? Hypersecretion and hyposecretion. क्या लिखा है मैंने वहां पे? हाइपरसिक्रीशन मतलब सिक्रीशन जो जरूरत से ज्यादा, एंड हाइपो मतलब जरूरत से जो कम. Clear everybody? Okay. So when we talk about disorders related to GH, disorders related to GH, either they can be hypersecretion or what bachlo hyposecretion disorders. You understand the meaning of the word hypo and hyper?
Yes.
Hypo मतलब जरूरत से hypo पूछा है. Hyper मतलब ज़्यादा. Now this hyposecretion can occur during childhood or it can occur during adulthood. Okay? अगर ये बचपन में हो गया, then it is called pituitary dwarfism. None of you in the class is dwarf, so don't look at each other. Okay? A dwarf will reach rarely here. Circus में देखा ना आप लोगों ने? वैसे थे dwarfs. Okay? है आपकी क्लास में उतना कोई नहीं है. Adulthood वाला नहीं मेंशन किया हुआ. It is called Simmons disease, but it's not mentioned. Okay? तो चाइल्डहुड में कौन सा कंडीशन होता है? पिट्यूटरी ड्वार्फिज्म. व्हाट हैपेंस इन पिट्यूटरी ड्वार्फिज्म? स्टंटेड ग्रोथ होता है. ओके? समटाइम्स द ड्वार्फ, उसको इंग्लिश में बोलते हैं मिड जेट, बौना. मराठी में अपन बोलते हैं उसको गुटका. ओके गुटका बोलते हैं ना क्या बोलते हैं हाँ हाँ क्या टिंगड़ा टिंगड़ा Yes, yes, remember that word. हाँ? ठीक है छोटा छोटा नहीं बोलते वो अपना निकनेम्स मत दे तू तो इतना जो होगा उसमें भी टाइप्स होते हैं बच्चों कुछ कुछ होते हैं लोरेन कुछ होते हैं फ्रोलिच जो लोरेन होते हैं वो मेंटली नॉर्मल होते हैं और फ्रोलिच जो होते हैं उनको आपको बढ़ाना पड़ता है ठीक है मेंटली नॉर्मल रहते हैं वो काफी सारे जिसको आपको सर्कस वगैरह में देखने मिलेगा नॉर्मल को सॉरी मेंटली एब्नॉर्मल को कहाँ सर्कस में देखेंगे इसके लिए प्रारंभ के बैच और बैच 2 में आना पड़ेगा समझो मेरी बात तो इसको ये कंडीशन को क्या बोलते हैं पिट्यूटरी इसमें चाइल्ड कैसा होता है मिड जट खाली खाली ओके what if the hypersecretion occurs during childhood then the child will grow excessively tall such a person is called as a giant and the condition is called as pituitary gigantism okay have you seen those basketball players like Kobe Bryant कोबे ब्रायंट कितना टॉल है नहीं कोबे ब्रायंट कभी टॉल नहीं रहा है ब्लैक माम्बा हाँ तो टॉल था ब्लैक माम्बा टॉल था देख उसकी हाइट चेक कर उसके कंपैरिजन में शैको नील को देख और वो सब जॉर्डन मॉडल को देख कैसे लंबे लंबे लोग थे सब शैको नील को देखा है कुछ लोग कितना एटलीस्ट एसी तक आराम से जाएगा वो ये कौन से कंडीशंस है जाइगेंटिज्म when the क्या बोला नहीं मैं तो कुछ भी नहीं है I'm a normal Indian male height 6 is normal ना 5 almost 6 is normal तुम लोग छोटा इसका हम लोग क्या करेंगे ओमकार का हाइट है शिरीष का ठीक है एकदम बराबर और उसको हंस रहा है सूजन इसको हाथ से साइकिल चलाने का जरूरत ठीक है जाइगेंटिज्म ओके मेडिकल इट्स नॉट गुड कंडीशन बच्चों the second is when the hypersecretion occurs during adulthood when it occurs during what now once you are an adult your epiphyseal plates have closed itna samajh mein epiphyseal plates have closed but still if there is an increase in the level of GH it will cause the abnormal growth of your bones it will cause what abnormal growth now your bones will not increase in their length secondary growth थोड़ी होगा डायकॉट स्टेप okay there will be disfigurement of the extremities I know you have not understood this word there will be disfigurement of your what बच्चों extremities मराठी में बोलेंगे हम लोग के आबड़ खोबड़ ग्रोथ होना वाकड़ा तिकड़ा ग्रोथ होना मतलब ये जो बोन्स है एंड्स के उनका ग्रोथ हो जाएगा फिंगर्स का ग्रोथ होगा और कुछ कुछ तो एकदम टिपिकल सिम्टम्स है आपका लोअर जॉ विल इंक्रीज इसको बोलते हैं प्रोग्नाथिक जॉ क्या होता है इसको वर्ड मत लर्न करना सिर्फ समझो द जॉ विल इलोंगेट क्या कहेंगे उसको प्रोग्नाथिक जॉ द ब्रो मतलब ये forehead will come out it's called gorilla face okay and sometimes it is also followed by kyphosis that is your hunchback kyphosis I hope you getting my point no discussion among yourself clear everybody yes okay NCERT says if it is not diagnosed early it can be fatal If it is not diagnosed early, it can be fatal. There are few reasons for that. One of them is fatal मतलब जानलेवा. One of the reason is that this condition, that is hypersecretion during adulthood, is called as acromegaly. What do you call the condition, बच्चों? Acromegaly. सुना मेरा बात? क्या कहेंगे उस कंडीशन को? Acromegaly. Acromegalous मतलब a disproportionate giant, disfigurement, disproportionate giant. Okay? What if the disproportionate bone growth occurs in your thoracic cage? Now, do you think it will affect your breathing mechanism? What if it is because of a pituitary gland tumor? It is basically what a brain tumor only. So if it is not diagnosed early, it can cause death. Okay? Now early diagnosis, for that the doctor, the endocrinologist has to be that good enough. Some of them, some articles that I have read, once I read an article which said like this, a US में था endocrinologist, he was having his meal in McDonald's, and as he was coming out, there was a rotating door. You know rotating door? So out of courtesy, एक सामने से घाई से आदमी आ रहा था तो उसको पहले उसने अंदर आने दिया. courtesy समझ में आता है ना? जो अपने में नहीं है, उसको बोला चला जाए. आने के बाद वो सामने वाले ने थैंक यू बोलकर हैंडशेक किया. ओके, he shook the hand. कितना टाइम आप हैंडशेक करते हो चलो? Depends ना अथर्वा. With a stranger, it is hardly for a second or two, and immediately you leave it, right? Now this man was a stranger, but immediately in that 2 to 3 seconds, he realized something was problematic with the handshake. Immediately gave his card and told him to come and visit him the next day. Turned out to be a pituitary gland tumor which was just starting acromegaly. That is why there was some disfigurement in the bones, slight disfigurement. But when you are trained so much, that slight disfigurement is also detected. Because you are being with the anatomy so much. Thousands and thousands of times you have studied that. Got my point? So immediately you come to know. Because your sensory perception, your touch tells you. Got my point? Just like for a cloth vendor, जो कपड़ा बेचता है, just by touching the cloth, he'll tell you this pure cotton is mixed with something. Because his brain, those sensory areas are so well developed. That will only well developed when you go to GMC. What my point? I have also said this condition is called what? Acromegaly. The last time I checked on net, Khali suffers from what? Acromegaly. Khali, you know not Khali, but yes. Oh, the great Khali or ungreat Khali, that is different. Okay? सही है? Clear है बच्चों? हाँ? तेरे को भी बोटे? Give me the inside. Listen here. The disease is hard to diagnose in the early stages because early stages में जल्दी disfigurement होता नहीं है and often goes undetected for many years until changes in the external features become visible and that time it can become late. Got my point? Yes. बाकी TSH का तो बता दिया मैंने. It acts on the thyroid gland. Then ACTH का भी बता दिया है. हाँ? Let's take a 10 minutes break बच्चों. Because अगर वो बोल रहा है सुसु आया मतलब सच्ची ये तो फालतू बोलेगा. हाँ अंदर ही. See, students, both male and females have mammary glands.
Yes.
Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Yes. But they become functional only in a human female.
Yes.
And that too after the age of puberty. So what happens is at the age of puberty, in a female, there is secretion of hormones like estrogen, progesterone, thyroxine, etc. Especially the two, estrogen and progesterone, because of which the mammary gland gets filled with adipose tissue. What is the mammary gland get filled with, which low?
Adipose tissue.
Adipose tissue. Because of which the size of the mammary gland will increase. So majorly gets filled with which tissue, which low? Adipose tissue. So the size of the gland is going to increase, and that is a sign of sexual maturity in a female. That is stage 1. Okay. Now, when a female becomes pregnant, okay, at that time, students, the number of adipose tissue will gradually decrease. Adipose tissue क्या हो जाएगा? कम हो जाएगा. And the glands will get filled with, इसका और डिटेल हम लोग ह्यूमन रिप्रोडक्शन में करेंगे, बट बेसिक है, it will get filled with milk producing structures. Milk producing structures called as the milk alveoli. Okay, and they are made up of these cells, which are called the milk secreting cells. Okay, so when the mothers become pregnant, at that time the adipose tissue will decrease and it will be replaced by more amount of what, which look? Alveoli. And what do these alveoli contain? Milk secreting cells. Clear, everybody? And these are covered by a special tissue, which the name is not there in the text. Myoepithelial tissue कहते हैं इसको. इसका बाद में रोल आएगा कुछ. Okay. Now, this development of alveoli, okay, is under the influence of which hormone, which are? Prolactin. Pro means for. Lactin comes from the word lactation. Lactation मतलब breastfeeding of the infant. Me, you, everybody. Okay, we have been through this stage where we were dependent only upon our mother's milk. Okay, but our mothers produce the milk under the influence of which hormone? Prolactin. And they were lactating mothers. The process was called as lactation. We were being fed that milk. Milk is made of which sugar? Lactose sugar. So that is why we are getting the word lactation, lactin, ऐसा बार बार हो रहा. I hope you got my point.
Yes.
Now, prolactin, PL लिखता हूँ मैं, prolactin acts on the milk secreting cells, and these milk secreting cells will pour their cytoplasm into the alveoli. These milk secreting cells will pour their cytoplasm into the alveoli, and this cytoplasm is rich in fats, and fats give which color, which look? White color. So now that is why the liquid here formed will be called as the milk. I hope you got my point.
Yes.
So what is the job of prolactin? The job of prolactin is to act on the milk secreting cells, and it helps in the synthesis and secretion of milk. Got my point?
Yes.
That is the first function. The second is, it also helps in the development of MG, that is your mammary glands. Okay, That is why it is also known as the mammotrophic hormone. क्या बोलते उसको बच्चे लोग?
Mammotrophic hormone.
Mammotrophic hormone. Okay. One more point I like to touch over here, जो अपन 12th में डिस्कस करेंगे डिटेल में, लेकिन एक पहले से ही आपको आता है, मेरी आदत में कुछ वर्ड आपको पहले से ही बोल के रख देता हूँ, ठीक है? That is, when a mother is vigorously breastfeeding the child, जब एक मम्मी अपनी बेबी को दिन में 5 to 6 times फीड करती है, मतलब the baby is dependent only on which milk? Breast milk. Such is called vigorous breastfeeding, which is normal. In such cases, the level of prolactin in her blood will be high. I have got my point. As the levels of prolactin are high, it inhibits formation of a new egg approximately for 6 months after the birth of the child. Got my point? So when the mother is breastfeeding the baby, the levels of her prolactin are very high, so she is not producing a new egg. I hope you got my point. As a result of which, she will have no menses. Her periods will stop. Mother's period will stop for approximately how many months, Bachalo? Around 6 months. She will not have any menses. Ada Lakshat? Menses. The periods, they stop at the time of pregnancy. Also, they stop for almost 6 months after the pregnancy when mama is breastfeeding the baby. Alvaksha Sarvana? And that condition is called lactational amenorrhea. What do you call it?
Lactational amenorrhea.
Lactational breastfeeding की वजह से amenorrhea म्हणजे no menses. Break up the word and understand. Lactation म्हणजे breastfeeding. Amenorrhea चा अर्थ असतो no menses. So breastfeeding की वजह से मम्मी को menses नहीं आएगी, 6 months तक गैप आ जाएगा, मतलब वो 6 month अगर सेक्सुअल इंटरकोर्स हो भी रहा है तो भी नया बेबी आने के चांसेस बहुत ही निल है, कम है. एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ विच दो बच्चों के बीच में नेचुरली कुछ महीनों का गैप आ जाएगा और वो गैप इनफ है कि मम्मी का बॉडी पहले प्रेगनेंसी से हील हो जाए, फर्स्ट बेबी को भी इनफ मिल्क मिल जाए और बाय द टाइम द सेकंड बेबी कम्स शी विल बी इन अ पोजीशन टू वंस अगेन प्रोड्यूस मोर मिल्क. I hope you got the loop, bachalo?
Yes.
So when prolactins का level are high, नया egg development does not take place. As a result of which, almost for 6 months, there is no menses. That is called what, bachalo? Lactational amenorrhea. I hope my class followed all of you.
Yes.
Pakka? Okay. So, first function is it acts on the milk secreting cells and it helps in the synthesis of milk. Okay. Second is it helps in the development of mammary glands. You understood development of mammary glands?
Yes.
There was formation of adipose tissue. Gradually during pregnancy was replaced by the alveoli. And finally I told you that if there is rigorous breastfeeding, mama will not have menses for almost 6 months. That is called as what, bachalo? Lactational amenorrhea. Okay. Why for 6 months? What is the hormonal interplay? All that I am going to discuss in standard 12 reproduction chapter. Okay. Right now I wanted to introduce this new word for you. That is what is lactational amenorrhea. I hope everybody understood.
Yes.
Okay. That was for which hormone? Prolactin. The next is gonadotropins. Who is it, bachalo? Gonadotropins. What are the gonadotropins? Follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. I hope everybody remembers few things. Like what? The hypothalamus will release GnRH, that is gonadotropin releasing hormone, which will act and it will start the production of what? Gonadotropin. So what are the two gonadotropins which you know? FSH and LH. Okay? And FSH and LH are going to act on gonads. These दोनों hormones will act on whom kids? Gonads. Okay? Who is the female gonad? Ovaries. Let's discuss that first. Okay? Now, इसमें भी ना बच्चों, majority of the part is going to be covered in human reproduction. Only little bit I want to tell you now. This is a female ovary, and inside there is development of some structures. अंदर कुछ चीजें develop हो रही, हाँ, cells develop हो रहे. इनको कहते हैं follicles. क्या कहते हैं इसको? Follicles. जैसे 12th में इनका नाम आएगा, primary, secondary, tertiary, graph, यानी सब नाम आएगा. So right now we'll name them as what we know? Follicles. Development of these follicles is called folliculogenesis. What is the development of follicles called?
Folliculogenesis.
Folliculogenesis. Is it very clear, everybody?
Yes.
Okay. And inside the follicles, there is formation of the female gamete. Okay? The female gamete is given different names. Primary oocyte, secondary oocyte, ooted, ovum, ऐसे अलग अलग उसके नाम आते हैं. हाँ? इसमें हम लोग एक जनरल वर्ड यूज करें. कौन सा जनरल वर्ड यूज करें बच्चों? फीमेल गैमेट. तो फॉलिकल्स के अंदर क्या डेवलप हो रहा है बच्चों? फीमेल गैमेट. और इस डेवलपमेंट को हम कहते हैं oogenesis. क्या कहते हैं उसको? oogenesis. शायद सबको समझ में आने बात? ओके. ये दोनों प्रोसेस are under the influence of which hormone? FSH. So the name of the hormone is follicle stimulating hormone. मतलब it is going to act on the follicles, stimulate in their growth, and also helps in the formation of the female gamete, which is called as oogenesis. Is it conceptually clear, Buchalo?
Yes.
Shall I continue? Another effect. What is the name of the hormone, Bucho? FSH. Who are these structures? Follicles. FSH is acting on the follicles. And it is causing the follicles to release a hormone called estrogen, which is responsible for secondary sexual characters in females. I hope I'm very clear. So estrogen ये किसका हार्मोन है? फॉलिकल्स का. मतलब ओवरीज का है. लेकिन कब रिलीज होगा? जब स्टिमुलेशन कहां से मिलेगा? FSH. तो ये तो एक फंक्शन हो गया FSH का. हाँ या ना? एक फंक्शन हो गया FSH का, that is folliculogenesis and oogenesis. Second function क्या हो गया? It stimulates the follicles for the release of which hormone? Estrogen. शायद मेरी क्लास को समझ में आया? Okay. The next hormone is what बच्चों? Luteinizing hormone. That is called as LH. Short form it is LH. Okay. Now when the follicle is mature, LH will cause the rupture of the follicle. Rupture मतलब to break. As a result of which, the female gamete will be released. Okay, and this process is called ovulation. क्या कहते हैं process को?
Ovulation.
So LH causes the rupture of the follicle in order to release the female gamete, and the process is called as what, Buchilo? Ovulation. I hope you understood. What's the process called?
Ovulation.
So one of the first function of LH is rupture of the follicle to release the female gamete, and that is called as what?
Ovulation.
Ovulation. So which hormone is mainly responsible for ovulation? LH. Okay. Then this follicle, it changes into a structure called corpus luteum. What's the name of the structure?
Corpus luteum.
Corpus means body. Luteum, yellow in color. Okay, lutein, yellow colored pigment. So the name of the body is what? Corpus luteum. Okay, and corpus luteum, it secretes a hormone called progesterone. So progesterone is a hormone of the corpus luteum, and the function of progesterone is to maintain pregnancy. So it's a pregnancy hormone. How? It will be taught to you later. But right now you can remember it's called which hormone? Pregnancy hormone. Who is called as a pregnancy hormone? Progesterone is called as प्रोजेस्टेरॉन को कौन रिलीज करेगा? ओके, लेकिन कॉर्पस ल्यूटियम को मेंटेन करने वाला हार्मोन है LH. So the second function of LH is LH will maintain the CL. CL is what, Muchilo? Corpus luteum. So in the presence of LH, corpus luteum will be alive, zinda, secreting what? Progesterone. Progesterone will help to maintain the pregnancy. I hope everybody understood.
Yes.
So what are the two functions of FSH? FSH in a female? One, दोनों चीज साथ में. It helps in folliculogenesis and oogenesis. ये साथ में पढ़ेंगे, है ना? एक ही फंक्शन. Folliculogenesis and मतलब डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द फॉलिकल और साथ साथ अंदर उसके अंदर डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द फीमेल. साथ साथ दूसरा फंक्शन है वो फॉलिकल को स्टिमुलेट करेगा और क्या सिक्रीट करवाएगा? एस्ट्रोजन. एंड एस्ट्रोजन से क्या मेंटेन होंगे? सेकेंडरी सेक्सुअल कैरेक्टर. शायद काफी समझ में आया चलो. दूसरा फंक्शन क्या है? LH सॉरी हो गया FSH का काम. ओके, LH का काम क्या है? रप्चर ऑफ द फॉलिकल एंड कॉजेस ओव्यूलेशन. सेकंड फंक्शन क्या है? कॉर्पस ल्यूटियम को जिंदा रखना ताकि वो सिक्रीट करता रहेगा प्रोजेस्टेरॉन और प्रेगनेंसी मेंटेन. समझा? ओके, सो ट्रू एंड फॉल्स. Progesterone and estrogen are the hormones of the pituitary gland. Loudly. They are the hormones of the gonads, ovaries. I have got it.
Yes.
FSH and LH are hormones of the, and GnRH is the hormone of the. याद है वो sequence? GnRH is the hormone of the, and FSH LH is the hormone of, and estrogen and progesterone are the hormones of the ovaries. Clear, kids, everybody?
Yes.
See now the next one. The role of FSH and LH in whom, bachalo? Males. Okay. So now in the case of males, the gonad is called what, bachalo? Testis. Correct? Okay. And within the testis, we have a number of compartments, and within the compartment, there is an important tube. tubule rather, which is called seminiferous tubule. क्या होता है tubule को? Seminiferous tubule. Where is it found?
Inside.
Inside the testicular compartment. Okay, and outside the seminiferous tubule are cells called cells of Leydig. Name of the scientist. Cells of Leydig, also known as interstitial cells. What are the cells called? The other name of the cells is cells of Leydig or interstitial cells. Okay. Now, LH. Who is LH? Luteinizing hormone. Acts on whom bachalo? Cells of Leydig, that is interstitial cells, and stimulates the release of the hormone testosterone. Which hormone bachalo? Testosterone. Got my point? And what is the testosterone responsible for? Secondary sexual characters in males. Okay? Another function of testosterone is it stimulates spermatogenesis. That is formation of sperms. It's called what? Spermatogenesis. So, when a boy reaches the age of sexual maturity, that is called puberty, slowly his pituitary gland will start the release of what, guys? LH will act on the, which will cause the release of, and gradually he'll develop facial hairs. Both males and females have facial hairs, but in the case of males, they are thick facial hairs. Okay, more musculature. Okay, broad shoulders, a deep voice. Because what happens is, because of testosterone, यहाँ पे एक cartilage है, thyroid cartilage, उसका हल्का सा ossification हो जाता है, जिसके अंदर vocal cords का जो length है वो change होता है, और एक मेल का आवाज जो है वो, बॉय का आवाज जो है वो masculine हो जाता है. I hope you understood?
Yes.
Okay. Other than that, what is the secondary sexual characters in males? Highly intelligent? Yes, you agree with that. Huh? What no? Males are not highly intelligent? Of course they are. Did I say females are not highly intelligent? Then why you taking it personally? अरे बेटा स्टेटमेंट बहुत क्लियर था ना भाई. क्या था? मेल्स आर हाईली इंटेलिजेंट. कहीं भी मैं ऐसा बोला तुम कि फीमेल्स आर नॉट इंटेलिजेंट. ये बेटा ठीक है चल. चोर की दाढ़ी में देखा देखो. समझा? So, testosterone is a hormone of the testis, not of the pituitary gland. Clear everyone? Okay. Listen to this. FSH also acts on seminiferous tubules, and it also helps in the process of spermatogenesis. How? It will be taught in 12. But right now, only remember that it helps in the process of spermatogenesis. That is development of sperm. Okay, so both FSH and LH have a role to play in sperm production. Clear, everybody?
Yes.
Yes, Anish? Huh? वही giggling चालू होता है तेरा? हाँ? रीड कर दो क्या जोक मिल गया तेरे को वहाँ पे अच्छा let him we spoke about spermatogenesis तो छोटू बाबू is laughing लालू पापा तस्वीर बच्चों को बिठा देना यही प्रॉब्लम I hope you understood my point everybody आधा टाइम तो उनका की और शरारतें और हंसते भी हैं ऐसा डॉक्टर बनेगा लोग पता नहीं ऊपर से डैडी गायनोकोलॉजिस्ट भी पता नहीं you should be the last person to laugh last person बचपन से is hearing all these medical terms okay सुधरना ना बचपन से ही तो और फिर भी उसको क्या हो जाएगा तो ये मैं मेरा मॉडिफाई करता हूँ लाइक कि most males are highly okay so ये I modify now so where were we did you understand all of it Uchlo remember these names cells of Leydig also called help in the production of what so testosterone estrogen and progesterone are they pituitary hormones or gonadal hormones okay 100 times now I have told are we clear with this everybody
Yes, sir.
so together now we'll talk about oxytocin I think we'll erase this part and then we'll continue okay now for Siddhyani will number उसको लिखते हो उसको प्रॉब्लम होगा कि कहाँ से क्या लिखना है इसमें प्रॉब्लम होगा नहीं लिख पाएगी ना बराबर से ओके पहले क्या लिखेंगे आप लोग प्रोलैक्टिन then you start with FSH clear everybody
Yes.
आप लोग वीडियो यूज करके लिख पाएंगे
Good.
good boy but still take a photograph because that will be quickly uploaded iPhone से ले लेगा इतनी बेइज्जती करोगे मेरी चलिए take from iPhone pause कर ले posterior pituitary is it synthesized by the posterior pituitary it is synthesized by whom hypothalamus oxytocin is popularly called as birth hormone because it is responsible for parturition that is called as childbirth or commonly called as delivery okay so here we have a fetus developing inside when is the time for parturition then the uterus undergoes mild contractions it undergoes what
Mild contractions.
and the signal are sent to whom hypothalamus and hypothalamus brings about the release of oxytocin acts on uterine walls plus लिखा मैंने मतलब it increases the muscle contractions so the labor pains will increase which will cause the hypothalamus to release more oxytocin more labor pains which will cause hypothalamus to release more oxytocin it's a positive feedback it's a
Positive feedback.
till the time the muscles will keep on contracting and the fetus will be thrown out not thrown the right word would be pushed out let's not be brutal wrong choice of word now yeah did you understand this point everybody
Yes.
so one of the functions of oxytocin is it helps in child birth why voice there clear everybody
Yes, sir.
second function as the infant is born when the child suckles on the nipple of the mother then from here the signals directly go to the hypothalamus and the hypothalamus releases which hormone oxytocin which will act on the myoepithelial cells which cells oxytocin acts on myoepithelial cells. So what will happen to the myoepithelial cells? Contract, and the milk will be ejected out. So the function of oxytocin is ejection of milk. It causes milk
Ejection.
matlab it helps to finally release the milk. So true and false. Oxytocin helps in the synthesis of milk.
False.
It is the function of this synthesis is the function of prolactin. Whereas milk ejection is the synthesis of. So if the cows and buffaloes are administered with oxytocin, their milk ejection will become easy or difficult?
Easy.
That is why they inject these hormones in there. Okay? So what are they responsible for? And which hormone? The next one is anti-diuretic hormone. And what is another name for it? Vasopressin. White now. Important hormone. Again, it is going to come in excretion. Huh? ध्यान से सुनिए हम लोग. First of all, understand the meaning of the word diuresis. What's the word, Evo?
Diuresis.
Diuresis means loss of water in urine. What is the meaning of the word diuresis? मतलब जब यूरिन का वॉल्यूम बढ़ेगा, मतलब साथ साथ कौन जा रहा है उसके वाटर जा रहा है, उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? डाययूरेसिस. लेकिन इस हार्मोन का नाम क्या है? डाययूरेसिस हार्मोन या एंटी डाययूरेसिस हार्मोन? So will it allow the loss of water in urine? No. Or will it help in conservation of water? Yes. You got the idea. Okay? Remember this. When your blood volume falls, मतलब आपका ब्लड का क्वांटिटी क्या हो गया है? कम. Because ब्लड के अंदर वाटर का लेवल इज लो. सो ब्लड का वॉल्यूम भी कम है, ब्लड के अंदर पानी कम है, तो डेफिनेटली ब्लड प्रेशर भी क्या हो चुका है? उस लोग फॉल हो चुका है. Got my point? And in this situation, the hypothalamic nuclei have got nearby cells called osmoreceptors. Okay? Who are the nearby cells, bacho? Osmoreceptors, which tell the hypothalamic neurons to release the hormone ADH. समझा? आपके बॉडी के अंदर पानी कम हो गया है, ब्लड वॉल्यूम कम हो गया है, ब्लड प्रेशर भी फॉल हो रहा है, तो आपके ब्रेन के अंदर एक रीजन है, मैंने पहले ही बताया हुआ आपको, क्या नाम है उसका? हाइपोथैलेमस. उसके आजू बाजू में रिसेप्टर्स है, ये डिटेक्ट करते हैं कि वॉल्यूम पानी क्या हो चुका है? कम हो चुका है. उसको क्या कहते हैं हम लोग? Immediately they send signals to whom, बच्चों? Hypothalamic neurons, which start the production of ADH. Now excretion osmolation तो हुआ नहीं हमारा, लेकिन स्कूल में बेसिक नेफ्रॉन का पता ना अपने को? ये बोमैंस कैप्सूल है, प्रॉक्सिमल कॉन्वोल्यूटेड ट्यूब्यूल है, फिर ये हेनलीज लूप है, और ये कौन है? डिस्टल कॉन्वोल्यूटेड ट्यूब्यूल है. Okay? Now, pay attention on this part. DCT. Okay? Distal मतलब दूर वाला. Convoluted मतलब टेढ़ा मेढ़ा tubule. What is the full form of DCT? Distal convoluted tubule. और उसके पहले वाले को PCT कहते हैं. वो बोमैंस कैप्सूल के नजदीक है, इसलिए वो क्या है? प्रॉक्सिमल है. ये दूर है, तो इसको लिए distal. ADH will act on the DCT. It will act on the DCT. वो DCT के सेल्स का वाटर परमिएबिलिटी बढ़ेगा, एंड यूरिन के अंदर जितना भी वाटर है, that water will go Where? Into your blood. So ADH acts on the cells of the and causes the reabsorption of water into the blood. सुना मैंने क्या बोला? It acts on cells of the TCT, increases their water के लिए permeability, ऊपर जाने दो अभी पानी को बाहर, and it causes the reabsorption of water into the blood. मतलब now the water will not go into the urine, it will go into the blood. So धीरे धीरे what will happen? Blood का water volume will increase. But don't you think your urine का volume will decrease and your urine will become concentrated? That is a hypertonic urine. So is it for the loss of water or against the loss of water? That is why it is called what? Antidiuretic hormone. I hope you got it.
Yes, sir.
What is the other name for it? Vasopressin. Because it can act on your blood vessels and cause their constriction. Constriction मतलब diameter कम कर सकता है, and thus it can increase your blood pressure. आया समझ में? Blood vessel, that is artery, for example, it will act on the walls of the artery and will decrease its diameter. That is called vasoconstriction and will increase the blood pressure. Okay, for that function it is called what? Vasopressin. For reabsorption of water it is called as ADH. Did you understand this?
Yes.
If a person suffers from, you tell me now, if a person suffers from hyposecretion of ADH, yes, Jay, tell me, if a person suffers from hyposecretion of ADH, what is one symptom that you'll observe? The urine is less concentrated, it is dilute. So will your patient have frequent urination? Yes. Sit down. And that condition is called diabetes insipidus. क्या होगा उसको? Diabetes insipidus. Don't get confused with diabetes mellitus. Listen to me here first. Last 5 minutes. Mellitus means sugar. Mellifera, honey bee, mellifera, Apis mellifera. मतलब सिंपली तुम्हारे लिए क्या? Mellitus मतलब sugar. Diabetes mellitus मतलब the urine will have sugar. So what will be the taste of the urine? Sweet. That is called diabetes mellitus. अच्छा? And इसका cause कौन है बच्चों? Insulin है. इसका cause कौन है? Insulin का hyposecretion है, कम secretion. बराबर है? Diabetes का मतलब होता है frequent urination. क्या है?
Frequent urination.
With dilute urine. But now if your urine is having what बच्चों? Frequent dilute urine, then it is called as diabetes insipidus. कहाँ लिखा है? कहाँ चला गया? Diabetes insipidus. Insipid का मतलब होता है tasteless. जैसे खाने में कोई स्वाद नहीं होता, तो आप घर पे इंग्लिश में क्या बोलते हो? The food is so insipid. बोलते हैं ऐसा? So do you use the word bland? The food is so bland ऐसा बोलते हैं? अगर इंग्लिश बोलते तो bland बोल सकते हैं ऐसा. और मराठी में हम लोग ने साउंड है. So here when you say diabetes insipidus, what is the meaning of the word? It is tasteless urine. It is तुझ्यासारखी लोक ठेवतात ती. कहाँ से हंस रहा है तू? चिराग